It's morning. Clouds paint the sky a miserable grey, and rain teases those strolling along the beach with occasional sprinkles of fresh water. They hunch their shoulders against the bone-chilling wind and shove their hands further into their jacket pockets, hoping to find some long-forgotten warmth along with the lint. I wish I could feel the cold, the pressure of the wind, the grating of sand against my feet, but I feel nothing. I wish I could hear the crash of the ocean waves, the roar of the wind, the echoes of gulls, but I hear nothing. I wish I could smell the pungent seaweed and taste the salt on the air, but there's nothing. I am entirely numb. I was hoping death would just be blissful nothingness, like the euphoric time travel of good sleep. Instead, in death, I have found myself wandering aimlessly through a muted, haunting dreamscape of life without me in it. To my left stands a pier, with its sturdy supports overrun by the ocean, engulfed in barnacles, algae, and sea stars. A woman with frizzy hair, a striking red coat, and floral gumboots drags her feet slightly as she walks along the wooden structure. Her sad but strong aura draws me in, like a moth to a flame, and I follow her up the dock. We pass fishermen cooing over dead fish like they're newborn babies, and tourists grumbling about how they'd be warmer in Antarctica. As we make our way to the quay at the end of the pier, tears start to dampen and redden the woman's eyes. They roll down her cheeks and into the poorly knitted Technicolor scarf I made for her when I was 13. My mother is an incredible woman, strong even in her most fragile moments. She wipes her sleeve across her eyes, sniffles, and keeps her head high as she continues with a heavy heart. I would do anything to take her hand, to feel her warmth and reassure her, to tell her I'm okay and that I wish I hadn't left. But her hand slides through mine like water, and a shiver runs up her arm. At the end of the pier she sits down, her legs swinging over the edge. A hand punches through my chest to grab my mother's shoulder. I step out of the way and see an old fisherman looking concerned as I read his lips saying, "You be careful, dear. The ocean's restless this morning." She gives him a tight smile and a nod before turning her attention back to the horizon. I sit down beside her. She sits silently for a time, her eyes closed, still leaking tears, and her head is tilted back ever so slightly. She is experiencing everything I cannot. The spray of the sea, the echoing cry of gulls, and the pressure of the unforgiving wind. I hear her whisper. I turn and look at her, stunned. I cry, but she doesn't respond as my voice echoes in my ears. She reaches into one of her jacket pockets and pulls out a box painted with crude, childish flowers. The date 2008 printed neatly on the side in someone else's handwriting. Tears completely cloud her eyes as she opens the box to reveal fine grey ash. She offers it up to the wind and lets it carry every speck away. She whispers, tears streaming down her face now. Light explodes over the horizon and the clouds disappear. A kaleidoscope of pinks and oranges bleed across the sky as the weary sun slowly peeks over the horizon. My mother's whispers fade into echoes as my soul locks onto the rising sun. I rise beside her and start walking towards the sun. My feet find no purchase as I step off the pier, but I don't fall. I keep walking forward into the blinding light of beyond.